9 out of 10 times being late is bad. Whether it's paying your bills, showing up to work, your girlfriend... Never mind, but you know what I'm talking about. But what about those late round surprises in fantasy football that end up being a pleasant surprise? Today we're going to be talking about a few players who are projected to be outside their top 30 at their position during your fantasy football drafts. However, you may be able to get them late and be potentially pumped up about it. But first, I need you to do me a favor. We're going to be competing a lot this year against you, the community. Whether it's in best ball leagues or weekly pick'em plays there on Underdog, we want to be involved with you. So there is no better time than right now than to sign up for an Underdog account using the referral code Headliners. There's a link down below in the description. Once you make the minimum $10 deposit, we'll match your deposit all the way up to $100 if you so choose to go that high. And I'm also going to give you a free 2023 fantasy football draft guide so you can dominate all your other league mates. But by signing up, you're also going to be entered into a giveaway from something from my office, and most importantly, you get that opportunity to compete against us all year long. So be sure to get that account signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com using referral code Headliners right now. Make that deposit, and I'm looking forward to competing against you in 2023. But let's talk about a few of these players that could definitely be a potential surprise in the late rounds that you may want. First one up is going to be Brian Robinson, running back of the Washington Commandos. Now, right now, he's currently sitting at running back 34 on Underdog Fantasy, and it doesn't happen very often where we have a running back who ended the prior season with a few games over 20 touches, 5 of the last 7 to be exact for Brian Robinson, and then really have nothing change over the offseason, and yet he falls deeper in drafts. Now, we know there's a new quarterback in town. It's Sam Howell. I love the kid. I really do. I think he can surprise quite a few people here this year. The biggest issue is Antonio Gibson is still in the mix. But like we saw last year, even with Antonio Gibson in Washington, B-Rob was the early down guy. Now, sure, Ron Rivera has come out here as of late and said, hey, we want to get Gibson more touches. Of course, that's what what is he supposed to say right now? You know what, guys? Yeah, Gibby's on the roster, but he ain't going to touch the ball at all. Dude ain't doing nothing this year. No. And they've said this in the past that they want to get him more involved, so that doesn't overly scare me away. I have to think that having Sam Howell under center is going to give this team more scoring opportunities. Those scoring opportunities, those goal line touches, those would be going the way of Brian Robinson. Now, in no way am I saying that you should draft Brian Robinson and be reliant on him to start your season. I'm looking at him more like an RB3, RB4, depending on how your draft goes in most cases. But to get a guy that has the opportunity at that amount of touches that late in drafts is definitely what we are looking for. With an offense that has the likes of Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, we know the boxes aren't going to be stacked, especially if Sam Howell can find some success early in the year. It also helps that he's going to have a normal offseason, a normal workout where he's not recovering from a gunshot wound to his leg. Don't forget that's something he had to deal with last offseason as a great bench stash at the RB position. Brian Robinson is somebody I'm looking at a little bit later. What about Samaje Perine, who's currently running back 37? But no, he isn't in Cincinnati anymore. He's in Denver, a team that pursued him and went after him in free agency. Now, he looked good, actually looked pretty dang good in Cincinnati when Joe Mixon was out just last year and showed us that he could carry a decent workload. He's not just some gimmick running back. Dude is 5'11", 240 pounds and can bang with the best of them. But now he's in Denver, a Sean Payton offense with the Broncos. A lot of questions surrounding Javonte Williams and his health. Now, fingers crossed, I love Javonte Williams. Dude's jersey's hanging right. I love me some Javonte Williams. But what if there is a setback? What if he deals with other soft tissue injuries, which is somewhat common for guys coming back from ACL tears? This is a possibility in this offense, and we could see a whole lot of Samaje Perine if that is the case to start the season. But what if Javonte is a full go, you ask? Of course, we still like him in that offense, but do you remember what Sean Payton really is known for when it comes to his offense? It's utilizing multiple running backs. Do you remember in New Orleans when he had Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, two guys that both finished top 12? It's just the way that he likes to call plays. 3 of his last 4 years in New Orleans, his running game was top 5 in the NFL in rush attempts. They're going to run the ball. It's bound to happen. We know that Samaje Perine is a great pass catcher. We've seen it in the past in Cincinnati. We know the Broncos have great outside weapons with Courtland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick, and we know that Russ was a lot better in this offense post Nathaniel Hackett last year. Now in that Sean Payton offense, Samaje Perine is definitely a name I'm stashing late in drafts. But what about a wide receiver? Sky Moore, Kansas City Chiefs. He's currently sitting at wide receiver 56. Now talk about overhyped last year, right? Sky Moore is a great example of why off-season social media when it comes to fantasy football just ain't it. Everyone and their mother thought this dude was going to explode in 2022. Everyone except us, because he didn't. He barely even got a chance. And we did our best to try to warn people of that last year. It's not some secret, right? It is a very rare thing for a rookie to get a big chance in an Andy Reid offense. It's been documented at times by a lot of ex-players of his. It's kind of why I'm not overly excited about the new rookie Rashee Rice, right? Because he's gonna have to take his lumps in this offense. But now we head into year 2 of Sky Moore's career, and this dude is crazy talented. He can do it all. Now, Juju is gone. Mecole Hardman, he's gone as well. And we all know that Kadarius Toney can't stay healthy for an entire season. This could be the chance that we need for Sky Moore to be a thing. And right now, he's pretty freaking cheap at wide receiver 56. We know that Mahomes is going to throw the football. This is never going to be a run-first offense. He's had over 580 pass attempts in every single season he's played, in which he started at least 15 games. Now, Sky will see plenty of opportunity in the slot as well. And you know we love our slot wide receivers, but he's also one of those guys that can make big plays happen. We saw it really late in the season and postseason last year for Kansas City. But most importantly, what really makes this great is he's more than likely going to be your wide receiver 4, maybe even your wide receiver 5. You're not going to be reliant on him. He can't really hurt your overall roster. If nothing happens with him and he is an absolute nobody in this offense, more than likely you'll be able to drop him, pick somebody up off of waivers early, and it's not going to hurt you at all. But Sky Moore is a potential lottery ticket that I'm going to gamble on a lot in 2023. And then lastly, I really wanted to take a shot in the dark late, and it's Van Jefferson of the Los Angeles Rams, who's currently sitting at wide receiver 77. This one right here is definitely a late round dice roll. It either works and you're happy, or he's another guy that you just sacrifice to the waiver wire if needed early in the season. The weapons just aren't there in LA anymore, though. Sure, Cooper Kupp coming back off of a major injury, but after that, you got Ben Skoranek, Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, and Van Jefferson. Now, we basically had a lost season last year in 2022 for Van Jefferson. Off-season injuries really kept him out until week 8 of the season. And then with Matthew Stafford going down, it was just bad all around for Van Jefferson, but he has gained the support of his quarterback, Matthew Stafford, and his head coach, Sean McVay, which we kind of saw during their Super Bowl run a couple years ago. And now he looks to be back and 100% healthy and ready to go. Now in an offense with really minimal wide receivers to challenge him for targets, a team that's really not going to be great in 2023, more than likely playing from behind a lot, we could see added volume going the way of the wide receivers, which would definitely benefit Van Jefferson. The running game is kind of makeshift. We don't know if they're going to like or hate Cam Akers from week to week, but at this point of the draft, one of your very last picks, I'm just looking for opportunity. And Van Jefferson has that opportunity for 80 plus targets, and you can find it in one of the last rounds here in 2023. He's not a bad late round stash. He could turn in to a wide receiver 3 by season's end and really give you some added depth that you need that you found super late in drafts. But these are only a few of those late round gems that we're going to find this offseason, so make sure you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Then, don't forget, I want to compete against you in Best Ball this year, so be sure to sign up for that Underdog account using referral code Headliners, make that minimum $10 deposit, and then be on the lookout because we're going to start dropping draft links really soon here, and you don't want to miss out on those. But for now, hopefully you have a great rest of your day and do your part to make the world a better place.